We say we're woke. We sell drinks, badass smoke. China is our labor supplier that drives our stock price even higher. What the world knows today, obesity won't go away. Coca-Cola diabetes is here to stay. That's a real thing. What the world knows today, obesity won't go away. Diabetes is here to stay. That's a real thing. Coca-Cola.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whatever time zone you may be in. This is Off the Grid Podcast with Aiden and Jared.
You know, always X to the truth.
And in this podcast, we're going to be talking about the very controversial critical race theory.
Yeah.
Something that has been widely talked about for years now.
Yes.
And also it's being taught in schools. We come to find out.
Education system.
Yeah. Which
Good video to start out with, though, Jared.
you like that video?
Let's go.
That was a great video. I honestly,
That was an accident, first of all, guys. We found it by accident.
yeah, we were just like doing research for this podcast, and then all of a sudden we just stumbled upon this Coca-Cola ad.
It's like, what? I thought it was actually going to be some, like, liberal stuff.
I applaud the people who made this video. It was beautiful. It should have been an actual ad on TV.
Like Daily Wire. They should pick it up. Like,
yeah, it's beautiful. Like, why haven't I heard of this before until just now? Like, this came out July 15th of last year of 2021.
yeah.
So it's like, how did I not know about this until just a week ago? Like, it's beautiful.
It's amazing.
But anyways, yeah, hopefully you guys like the background decor. We got stuff actually set up now. We don't have a bland background. And we got the on-air light there, so that's beautiful. Presenting.
I'm holding it in my hand.
Yeah.
Kind of. Wait. I can't move it.
So that was basically, that was a great intro for this podcast, but critical race theory.
So, question.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about this now? That's with every question. Why are we talking about this topic now? Why is this relevant? Right?
Well, they've been talking about it for years now, and especially like they're really pushing for it now with the Biden administration, I feel. Like it's a big thing because and we'll get into later in the podcast too, but equity. Equity is a huge thing that goes into the Biden administration's plans. They want to make sure that that it's more equitable for people of color. And funny enough, Kamala Harris gives a great definition of it. Surprisingly, it's actually a really good definition. It makes sense for once. The one thing that actually makes sense.
One good thing she does.
Yeah. So what is critical race theory will be our first section. But before we get into that, you can find us on YouTube and Google Podcasts, and we're also available on Spotify.
Yes.
And so
any one of those platforms you guys want to look us up on.
And if you are mostly an audio listener, then Spotify and Google Podcasts is the way to go because that's actually up before the YouTube episode. Yes. So, so definitely check that out. But you are missing out if you are not subscribing to our YouTube channel, because our YouTube channel, you can see our funny faces.
Yes.
All the funny faces we make during each episode.
All the stupid crap that we do.
Yeah, and also we do have a TikTok. I don't know if we. I know we don't mention that a whole lot, and
we have some great clips already up for you guys. And
it's great. We're getting a lot of attention on TikTok, so thank you for everyone who is already subscribed to our TikTok account, and if you guys are new from TikTok, thank you for clicking the link because
coming over to our YouTube.
Subscribe over here. We actually have more than more than 3-minute videos on here. We have a full hour, 2-hour episodes, and you guys can watch as you please whenever.
Or listen.
Yep, or listen. And so thank you guys, and thank you for the new subscribers. I saw we got 2 new subscribers recently.
Really?
Yeah, we are at 73 now as of this recording. So I'm assuming they came over from TikTok, but
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe. Well, but yeah,
awesome,
so far
man.
I
That's
think
awesome.
TikTok's working really well for us, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. Seriously.
Yeah, I'm excited about this. I didn't realize TikTok would be such a big thing for us, but it works really well, especially
Really.
for people getting, people that love watching videos. I mean,
Or have 5-second attention
why they're
spans.
yeah.
Like myself.
So what is critical race theory? This is from Critical Race Theory
.org.
Training and Education.
So don't tell us, guys, that it's not
We're using an actual
source.
that emphasizes and discusses critical race theory on a normal basis.
Yeah.
You got your volume up? Mm-hmm. Okay. Gotcha. How's that sound?
Yep. it's better.
Okay.
Cool. Hopefully that sounds better for you guys, too.
It doesn't affect the recording. It just affects what you can hear yourself better.
Cool. Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, because it still sounds the same.
Okay.
But anyways, so
Makes it more equal, though, for me.
So critical race theory is an outgrowth of the European Marxist school of critical theory. Critical race theory is an academic movement which seeks to link racism, race, and power. Unlike the civil rights movement, which sought to work within the structures of American democracy, critical race theorists challenge the very foundations of the liberal order, such as rationalism, constitutional law, and legal reasoning. Critical race theorists argue that American social life, political structures, and economic systems are founded upon race, which, in their view, is a social construct. So that kind of gives you probably one of the best
good intro.
definitions of it, I guess. But the critical race theory is being taught in classrooms, guys.
Yeah.
This isn't just...
What do you think about this, Judd? Excuse me, guys.
This, before we, dive into it, because we're going to be going
Over a lot of stuff.
a lot of stuff. This is actually also from the criticalrace.org.
All of this stuff, yeah.
That definition was from it, but this article that we're diving into is all from that website.
Yeah.
But my initial thoughts on teaching critical race theory in the classroom, and I'm sure you guys heard it on TV too. If you watch Fox News, they talk about this on a regular basis. But it's basically teaching kids, like say there's a black child, and you're telling that black child that he is automatically being discriminated against, and he cannot achieve what a white kid could achieve. Is basically a dumbed down version.
Basically what they're saying.
Is basically what they're saying. It's a dumbed down version of the definition that I just read. That's
But they're going to color it up and make it sound all nice and
like
something that should be taught.
Yeah. And it's sad that they're telling kids in school this, because they're immediately
It wasn't this bad when we were in school at all.
yeah. I mean, they never taught this in school.
Thank goodness we got out when we did, though. Huh?
Yeah. Now, however, in college they did teach critical race theory.
I mean, that's kind of not surprising, though. I mean,
yeah, because
global professors out there, and yeah, it's not that surprising.
Yeah, because I took a history class, and
It's not actually history.
This history class went over critical race theory. It's like, dude,
This isn't history.
this is not a historical thing. It's just some stupid theory
It's brainwashing.
yeah. Oh, it sucks.
Control.
And it really is control, and it's sad that kids are being taught from the out from right on the onset of this. They're being taught, oh yeah, you're not going to succeed in life because you're black or you're Asian, but it's mostly because you're black.
And people think this isn't racist. I mean, this is racist. Like
That's racist right there within itself.
If anything.
Yeah. I mean, telling a kid that, you can't succeed in life because of your skin tone, that is indeed racist right there.
That's racism right there.
Yeah. So CRT in the classroom. So the CRT training and education in the wake of the death of George Floyd and the subsequent Black Lives Matter protests.
Which is what really set this off. Like,
Right.
It really started to take off.
That's when we started hearing more about it, and a lot of people, were aware of this after
Researching it, yeah.
Multiple universities have responded to campus activists and outside groups demanding anti-racist actions be taken. Colleges and universities have responded in 9 different ways. Changing admissions policies
Wait, one, I guess, yeah.
is the first one. In an effort to ensure greater equality of outcome, several universities have taken steps to make their admissions processes more, quote, equitable. These actions can range from scrapping standardized tests to adding a diversity/equity scorecard to applications, which is quite messed up, and we'll tell you why. So scrapping standardized tests.
So, guys, this is basically like scrapping, like, what, like the SAT, ACT, all that
Yeah,
stuff?
so basically all that stuff that you took, like those college entrance exams
Yep.
and stuff. Like,
That's a horrible one, by the way.
did you
still.
take the ACT
Yes,
too?
I did.
Okay.
I think so. I don't think I did good, though.
I didn't do good either, and I didn't take it again either, because you had an
Once was enough. Once was enough.
once was way enough. I did not want to do any more.
No.
That's for sure.
Public school sucked.
Yeah, but I could see why like kids are like, "Yay, we don't have to do standardized testing." But at the same point, you're just
If it's for this reason, though, it's not good.
yeah.
Come on, kids. Look at
So,
the real reason.
This is from the California State University.
CSU.
You want to read this?
Yeah. So it says this decision aligns with the California State University's continued efforts to level the playing field and provide greater access to a high-quality college degree for students from all backgrounds, said Acting Chancellor Steve Willia. In essence, quote, we are eliminating our reliance on a high-stress, high-stakes test that has shown negligible effort in providing our applicants with greater opportunities to demonstrate their drive, talents, and potential for college success, end quote. Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think that's basically, in my mind, that says that colleges are going to become, forgive me, but I think colleges are going to start to become more stupid.
Yeah, because you're allowing everyone in,
Yeah.
no matter.
No more grants for you guys. I mean,
And that actually decreases the
hard work that they do.
hard work that some students do. I mean, you're told through high school you got to get good grades, you got to
college.
you got to go to college, but you got to
Oh,
get.
college was hit over the head with us so hard.
Oh yeah, at Lake, dude, we were slammed with information all the time about how you
Like,
had to go to
just
college
Stop. Like,
in order to succeed in life.
I'm not
you
in
had-
college and I'm doing fine. I
Yeah.
think, relatively.
At least you self-proclaimed,
job,
right?
okay?
Yeah, self-proclaimed doing good.
Yes.
Yeah. Yay!
3.0 GPA, what am I doing?
No, you did good, dude.
I appreciate it, buddy.
You're welcome.
What am I doing with my life? Oh, I'm flipping burgers. I have a 3.0 GPA. What am I doing with it?
Yeah, I'm flipping burgers.
Oh, come on. You're just flipping baddies.
Yeah.
Seriously, though, like, it really does dumb down some students' like drive. Like, seriously, if you say that everyone can, like, basically get into this college, where's the initiative in that?
Right. And so they're trying to eliminate the stress, the high stakes testing. But
It's
that's
supposed to be high stakes.
right. But that's literally all college is high stakes and
Can
high
you speak to this?
stress.
Because I haven't been to college. Like, what is it? High stakes, really? Is it?
Yeah,
really?
I mean,
Okay.
dude, like, especially when you got an expectation. At least so far, Kent State still has this expectation. Maybe in a couple years, they'll be like, you know what? We want people to graduate, which is, of course, true. Every college wants high graduation rates,
They want you to look for it, too, I think.
but they also want you to work for it, not just they don't want to just hand it to you. But at least in my classes, some of them were like you had to have a C or above to pass. So you could not pass that class if you had a D. You had to retake the class if that was part of your requirements, which, all the classes I took were part of my requirement to graduate. I took a lot of pointless classes like witchcraft and European history.
You did not.
Yeah,
You did
and
not.
I wrote a whole entire paper on Scooby-Doo and the Witch's Ghosts. And I got a good grade on it for my final. And I wrote a Scooby-Doo about a Scooby-Doo movie. I mean, mind you, it's a great movie, but
Like in Kent State, mind you.
who knew that I could write a paper about Scooby-Doo
and get an A.
Yeah.
Like a,
Thank you.
what does our system come to? Wow.
And I was like, but yeah, so dude, like telling students from the beginning that, you know, we don't want to, you know,
Basically, you don't have to work hard.
yeah, and telling students that we don't want to give you too much stress and stuff, but that's literally all college is. It's stress and
It's
trying.
It's not a good preparation.
Yeah, I mean,
College.
you're trying to graduate, but it's not going to be easy.
Nope,
No one
not
said
at all.
college was easy. You know, if college was easy, everyone would be in it.
Right.
And if college was,
be-
and that also goes back to the having free college. Like if college was free,
College.
if college was free, everyone would be going to it because they're like, oh, well, you know what? It's, you know, but we need ditch diggers too. You know what I mean? Ain't I
That's
right?
true, though. That's true. And it's so true, though.
I mean, we need people to grab our trash on each day of the week, like, you know, or flip burgers at McDonald's. Like, come on, Aiden. We need you.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
I don't want to do that.
Hey, you chose this path. It's because we live in a racist society. That's why you're here.
Wait. We live in a society, I'll tell you that.
We live in a racist society. It's all because
Maybe not racist, but in what I've experienced, the ADA, American Disabilities Act, that's shit.
yeah.
On you right now. Oh, I can get off on a tangent, but I'm not going to do that. I ain't going to do that in this video.
Yeah.
I'm going to choose not to.
So, and kind of going on from that, you know, setting low expectations for students is going to make us rank lower in the education field.
I was going to say, why do you think the U.S. education morale is low?
And why do you think China's whooping our ass?
Read this.
So, this is from thebalance.com. The U.S. scored 478 in math, below the OECD average of 489. That's well below the scores of the top 5, all of which are Asian nations. Singapore
Surprise.
Singapore at 569. Mako at, is that how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
Mako at 555, Hong Kong at 551, Taiwan at 531, and Japan at 527. China was not included in this ranking since only 4 provinces participated.
So what does that tell us?
So that shows that, yes, they have higher expectations in
whooping
these.
our butts.
And
Literally.
it's been known for years that they have higher expectations in education in these Asian countries. I would think that China is pretty high up on the list in terms of education.
Yeah.
Like if they were actually included in this, well, Hong Kong is in China. I don't know why that's a separate thing per se, but that's still really high.
Yeah.
And it's sad because like we're making ourselves dumber by putting low expectations on students and saying, "Oh, you don't need to take that test to get into college. You know, you could be a dumbass and get into Harvard." You know, like last time I checked, you had to be pretty smart to get into Harvard, but now it's like,
You could be a dumbass
come
and get
on,
into
come on,
Harvard.
dumbasses.
But like, okay. Especially, I mean, we made a podcast about this country before, but South Korea. Can you imagine how their colleges are? Like, what the kind of stuff that they do? Like,
Yeah. Like it's sad to see that we're
I think
making
schools
ourselves dumber.
in the U.S. I don't think it's becoming dumber. We're just becoming brainwashing. brainwashing factories. That's what schools are becoming.
Mm-hmm.
Public schools, at least. Government funded, mind you.
Yep. Instead of calling them public schools, you need to call them for what they are. Government-funded schooling.
Yeah.
People look at public schools, and that kind of, like, dilutes what it actually is about.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you got to remember all these liberal ideologies are being taught in our public school system.
Not private, not nearly as much.
Not nearly as much. Now, it can appear in private schools
Yeah.
as well.
Oh, yeah.
Because you got to remember, it's not
Some
necessarily...
schools are very preppy and...
You got to remember, it's not necessarily the government that is pushing this, but the people who are hired in. You know, you're getting these, you know, liberal-leaning teachers or leftists, even more so. The liberals, maybe not so much, but the leftists for sure. You know, progressives, they're pushing for this, you know, critical race theory stuff in school, and they're like, well, we need to teach students about critical race theory. We need to teach them about another big thing right now is the LGBTQ plus ideology. Like, apparently students need to be taught about different types of sexes in third grade.
Yeah.
You know, that's another thing. We could have talked about that tonight. Like, critical race theory is one thing, but even bigger right now
Yeah.
is the LGBTQ+.
Always another podcast to talk about.
Oh, there's always something new coming, guys. That might be our next one, too.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
Very controversial stuff, I will say. So,
Speaking of liberals and stuff, dude, that new commercial.
mm-hmm.
It's on the Daily Wire, guys.
Yeah, with the Jeremy's razors.
Jeremy
yeah.
Waze. I was like, yes!
That was such a good ad.
It's so good.
So implementing anti-racism, bias, and diversity training. And that's to get students, faculty, and staff to understand their, quote, implicit biases. Institutions have required them to undergo some form of training, ranging from small group orientations to full-blown classes.
That's what gets me.
What do you think that means to you when you read that? That they're,
Brainwashing! Like,
and what are they telling them in these classes?
they're basically white people are a-holes.
And racist.
Yeah.
They're implicitly racist because they...
It's in their DNA.
Yeah,
Being
whether
racist
they
and
know it or not.
America is a...
So, like...
Race, it was founded off of racism and...
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's kind of true, but we've grown from that, though. We've moved on from that. That's the difference.
And you also...
We were founded on slavery, yes. But
and that
we
was a big
evolved.
driver in our economy back in the day.
Yes. That's what people don't mention either. I don't think it's so much that they chose to do it. That was just the economy. It was easier for them to make money that way back then.
It was most efficient.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have to spend money on paying, you know, white people, you know,
Yeah.
of their,
Yeah.
you know, of European
there were
descent.
a lot of aristocrats back then. That's what, what it was.
Yeah. Now, mind you, the slavery happened all over the world.
It still happens all over the world today.
And these exact people, the argument that a lot of these leftists don't want to admit is that the exact people that had slaves and owned them were the ones that were fighting to get rid of it.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of, like, you know, George Washington himself, you know, released slaves.
Yeah.
You know, and he was a slave owner.
Oh, and guess who owned a lot of the slaves in the Civil War? Southern Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm sorry, but
you know, to be honest,
there you go. That's just what it is.
To be honest, not many things have changed with the Democrats since then.
Who founded the KKK? A Democrat.
And they're
like,
dude, they're still putting down black people as it is. Like the
like
the
what
liberals.
Biden said, and like I don't know if it was accidental, but like that thing that he said in his campaign.
What about
Black
the
kids could do just as much as white kids?
Yeah,
That kind of just comes across as like weird at the least.
yeah, at the least.
Yeah.
But yeah, they, you know, putting students and staff through full-blown classes.
You know what? It reminds you of the scene from Lost. Have you seen Lost?
No.
Well, there's a part where there's this guy that's basically placed in a lab, like it's like a Dharma lab, and he's being subjected to like this brainwash imagery, like these fast flashing images and planted ideas in his head.
Yeah.
That's what this kind of sounds like to me.
Like, yeah, basically a brainwashing kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's messed up that people have to go through this. And, you know, like you saw at the beginning of our podcast in our intro, we played that Coca-Cola thing, but that wasn't just for fun.
That's not just a joke, guys. I mean, yes, it was funny. It was really funny, but like, it's kind of what.
It's true. A lot of these corporations are doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
In terms of brainwashing their employees,
Brainwashing the masses too.
into quote being like less white.
Yeah.
Like you saw in that video. Yeah. So some people might be confused also when it comes to the difference between equality and equity.
Yeah.
It used to be back in the civil rights era that Martin Luther King Jr. was fighting for equality. Now it's transitioned into equity, which is what a lot of these left-wing nuts
are trying to fight for.
And I think, and ironically, Kamala Harris
does a good job of explaining this.
Yeah, surprisingly. So here is her explanation on what the difference is between equality and equity. Here we go.
There's a big difference between equality and equity. Equality suggests, everyone should get the same amount. The problem with that, not everybody's starting out from the same place. So if we're all getting the same amount, but you started out back there and I started out over here, we can get the same amount, but you're still going to be that far back behind me. It's about giving people the resources and the support they need so that everyone can be on equal footing and then compete on equal footing. Equitable treatment means we all end up at the same place.
So yeah, that's.
Do you agree with that, Judd? What is your thoughts on that? Your honest thoughts on that?
I mean, it makes sense. The definition that was the most
intelligent definition I've heard.
From Kamala Harris ever. Like anything she's ever said.
Yeah,
to be honest,
I was like, wow, okay, that's well thought.
Yeah, it makes sense. Sounds nice. But then,
what are the problems with it, though? Like, be honest. What are the problems?
Well, what do you first? What do you see the problems as?
The whole thing about starting, you're still going to be behind. Yeah, but isn't your goal to bring like them to where you're at?
Aren't you dividing people?
Yeah.
Like when you're saying, like instead of giving Aiden $500 for his birthday, we're going to give this black kid that also his birthday, but Aiden doesn't get anything because racism, right?
Because I'm white.
Aiden's white, so he's already better off, I guess, than this black kid. But we'll give him the $500, but not Aiden. How does that make you feel that you didn't get the $500?
Like shit, basically.
Now, equality would be, okay, well, this black kid and Aiden both have the birthday on the same day. So we're going to give Aiden the $500 and the black kid the $500. Yeah. Now, how do you feel? You feel better that you both got the $500.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so
where
I'd be more okay with it if it was equality.
I'm more of an equality man.
Why do you think they made the switch though?
Because
there's a reason. Like, do you think there's an actual reason why?
I think that they're looking at it as, okay, well, you know how they're always saying that the top 1% needs to pay their fair share.
Bernie Sanders always says
it's
that.
the Bernie Sanders politics,
or
economics, I guess.
Yeah, you should say, the socialism.
I think that's the thing. They're like, well, it kind of
socialism is probably not the right word for this because it's a different ballpark.
But
the economics of it, though,
I think they're looking at it. And it does kind of make sense in this way, where it's like, okay, you have someone that is a millionaire, say like a billionaire, like Elon Musk or something. He's a very rich man, very smart, well deserved, mind you. He's very smart.
As goes, heck yeah.
But say if you give this there's someone poor living on the side of the road, you give them $1 million, but then you also give that Elon Musk $1 million.
Because make sure that he keeps...
Make sure it's equal, because you're giving this poor guy $1 million, but you're also giving Elon Musk just to be equal. Like, I can understand why that wouldn't make sense. Because why would you give, millions of dollars to someone that already has millions and millions of dollars?
Right.
So I understand in that sense, like, why you wouldn't need equality.
But they're not just doing it to millionaires, though, and that's the problem.
Right. Think about this, though. So if there's two...
If I'm right in that, am I right in that?
I know.
With saying that?
No, you're right.
Okay.
Like, you're saying that if there's one white person, one black person, they're both in the same tax bracket, they're both poor,
Yeah.
and you give them both $500, I don't see a problem with that.
Good.
Do you?
No,
Is
there
that what
is-
you're saying there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not to be mean, but Musk can afford to lose a little bit of money. I mean, I'm sorry, but
Well, and the thing is, though...
he's going to gain it back in a week anyway.
Yeah, and... Well, here's the thing.
Maybe not even like a couple hours, probably.
We also have to keep in mind, dude, we don't want to devolve to what these liberals, how they think in terms of economics, because
What do you mean? Can you explain yourself?
Yeah, I'll explain myself. We don't want to look at Elon Musk and be like, well, he has so much money, he doesn't need any more money. But it's like, dude,
Not that he needs any more, but
he doesn't necessarily need it.
He does have,
but he
more than
earned it,
enough.
dude.
Yeah,
You know, he earned
they
it.
can go in on it too.
You know, and you know that's his.
Oh wait, that's your point. Duh.
What I'm saying
They
is
can
that
go in
that's
on it too. Yeah, that's your point.
what I'm saying is just because he has, you know, millions and millions of dollars doesn't necessarily mean that he owes it to me.
No, he just literally made a whole satellite system for Ukraine. For goodness sake,
like he's doing
Like,
good
yeah.
in society.
He's like a real life Iron Man.
So
I mean, he's like, dude, you guys. Speaking of him for a second, you guys have got to read his story. Like Jared's views of him have switched. I've heard it's like he's an American hero. Like
yeah, for a
he's
while
like a real
there,
life Tony Stark. Like
yeah.
seriously, the things that he's done for the world, it's crazy.
Yep.
It's so good. Oh my gosh, I would love to meet him one day. That'd be so cool.
So
Anyway, enough of my nerding out here.
yeah, yeah, Aiden. No,
Stop groveling. Let's go.
no, but seriously, I'm all for equality.
Yes.
In terms of like, you know, if one, black person and a white person are both on the same tax bracket, they're both poor. You give them both $500.
Oh.
That's fine. But what I have an issue with is like you say, okay, well you're black
We're gonna give
and
you
you're
money,
poor.
but
We're going to
but
give
we're not
you
gonna-
money, but not
but
the
that-
white person.
Well, not just not the white person, but we're not going to make sure that the white person is incentivized in some way.
Yeah,
You know,
and also that's kind of an
Right.
issue in terms of with college.
because then they'll have another problem. The white people are going to be the people. You're going to have another poverty issue.
yeah,
It'll just be a different color. That's all.
yeah, it'll be the black people are
The
more
money,
money,
yeah.
and then the white people will be the ones that are begging for it on the streets.
Yeah. I'm
And-
sorry, but poverty's never going to go away. I mean, it's
Just
sad, 'cause it's-
handing money
yeah.
to people is not just going to solve the issue.
There were deep-rooted issues. You know, the next section will be a good time to talk about that. And I was telling him this a week ago, and I'll mention it here on the podcast a little bit. Joe knows what I mean, but we'll talk about this later. But yeah,
Before we get into
I
that,
have a theory. Yeah,
I wanted to mention, like, with my experience in college,
yeah.
like they tend to hand out, they outright say this, and we should have included it in the notes and found some articles, but I'm sure you guys heard of it. In colleges
this?
with acceptance, if you are, a black human being and you're applying for college, and then there's a white person that wants to get in that
Guess who's gonna
college,
get-
who's going to get in there? Well, the black person's going to get in there because they're all about, wanting to have an equal opportunity, but it's kind of false advertisement because they're looking for an equitable hire, not an equality hire.
Equality. They would both get it if that was the case.
Yeah.
They try to find a way to get both.
Right. They want more people of color in their
They just
schools.
want they just want to look good.
They just want to look good on the world stage or across the country.
I was gonna say across the country. Yeah.
Yeah, just say, hey, look it up. Well,
Oh
yeah,
look, we
we're not racist here. We got a whole bunch of black people. Okay, that's great, but like, your point? I mean,
Yeah.
And other countries don't care. That's another point too. Is like other countries don't care
they
what
don't care.
we
They're
are doing.
laughing at us watching our country fall apart, waiting to invade us.
Like with us,
I'm
like
sorry, but like that's I know that's dark, but like that's
like us wanting more transgender people in the military. Like,
gosh,
What?
if
Who
that
cares?
happens? China's gonna have a field day.
Yeah, like-
to invade us. Like,
and
that's-
China wants just the toughest men. And
dude.
we want
I'm sorry,
transgender men.
I'm sorry to say this. This isn't treason. You know what? This isn't treason to say this. Compared to, like, nowadays, the U.S. military ads, China's military ads, I will say this, are badass now compared to ours. Like, they're fucking awesome. Like, and we just, we make a, ad about freaking, two moms raising a child. Meanwhile, China's over here making an ad about fucking helicopters and fucking...
Like, why don't we just go back to the propaganda days, like showing our military might?
China's doing it, and it's scaring me.
North Korea does it.
Yeah.
Mind you, I don't...
Well, I'm saying China has the budget to make good ads, is what I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah.
But you see their parades in North Korea.
The shit out of me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Granted, the missiles can't get to us.
Although it is quite, yeah, just throws in the close to the Japanese coast.
It comes back down on them.
Although Japan is like, you know, slowly putting up their middle finger at North Korea, be like, you know, you guys are getting awfully close to our
You better
shores.
watch it. You better watch it.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's like, it's scary that they supposedly...
the next invasion is going to be Taiwan. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I guarantee it now.
Yep.
Anyway, though.
So, as we showed in that last section, it was talking about anti-racism.
So what is this? So, okay. Before we get into this, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they'll mention this. I guess to them there's a difference between not being racist and being actively anti-racist, right?
Yeah.
So what is this?
So, what is anti-racism? In the words of the great Ibram X. Kendi, I would lower grade, anti-racism can be defined as, or quote, as any idea that says the racial groups are equal, end quote. Thus, anti-racism is the belief that all races should be equal and have the same social standing, opportunities, and freedoms.
Isn't that basically saying, like, everyone that's not an asshole believes that? I mean,
I guess. I mean,
that's kind of known, though, is that not? Like, anyone's not a
though
complete...
the thing is, though, when Ibram X. Kendi comes up with a definition, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, guys.
Yeah.
Like, do you
was surprised by one of the videos you watched that I actually got something out of it.
Yeah, like...
I was like, wait, what?
I'm like, that guy's an idiot.
Yeah.
How did you get anything from what he just said?
Yeah.
He says a lot of stuff, but none of those words mean anything.
The more I thought about it, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. You're trying to make too much sense of it, Aiden.
What?
You know, you're trying too hard.
I'm sorry.
I can see the smoke coming out of your ears.
I took shrooms that morning. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can see. Aiden, you're going to overload your brain. It's going to, like...
Overstimulation.
Just says overheat, and you're like, you got to reboot.
Overstimulated.
Yeah. Don't work yourself too hard, buddy.
Right. I do that all day long, 5 days of the week.
The first thing that modern-day budding anti-racists must do is acknowledge that racism is prevalent in society, okay? This racism is not an accident. It is systemic and has been this way for centuries. America was founded on the backs of enslaved Africans that never received proper recognition for their work, and to this day continue to languish under the consequences. To this day, people of color will suffer under cycles of poverty, biases in the workplace, and society as a whole, and the school to prison pipeline, to name a few examples. Mm-hmm. How'd you like my interpretation of that?
Good.
No?
It was good. It was good.
Okay.
It was too dramatic.
Too dramatic?
It was
okay,
too dramatic.
Sorry. I made it
the whole.
I made it sound better than what it actually was. Sorry.
Okay, so this is my theory.
All right, so analysis from Aiden here.
Yeah, okay. And I explained this to you a little bit ago.
Yeah.
The thing I don't agree with him, right, is the never receiving proper recognition. That's false right there. I fully agree that that's false. They do receive a lot of recognition for their work.
Especially
and
nowadays.
They should continue to.
Right.
But in my mind, they are still languishing. Not as much as they were, obviously. But
it's a tricky...
I have a friend that lives in Akron, and all the time when I drive around, I just can, like, notice that it's just like there is something... I can't put my finger on it, but there's something wrong with our country. in terms of poverty and in colored people. I don't know what it is, but there was some sort of connection that I'm trying to make. In my mind, it's almost like it's accidental racism because they cannot move forward no matter what they do.
And this is Aiden's theory.
Yeah, that I just named it. It's accidental racism. What do you think? Like, is it? There's got to be something. There's something wrong. I don't think it's our fault, and I don't think we should be being blamed for it at all. But there is something wrong though with this country with that.
I think what you're trying to go at here is that the government is
The projects are not helping at all. First of all, anything government funded does not help. First of all,
Yeah. Well, and also,
I mean, yes, these houses look nice, but that's
These
all
government
it's
funded
government
housing?
funded.
Yeah.
Yeah, the projects. Yeah,
well, and also the
granted, I'm speaking from a perspective where I live in a small town that makes a lot of money, so I can't really speak to this. So,
right.
but in my mind, there was something wrong though.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
Viciously wrong.
maybe this is kind of a hot take here.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But we could kind of link the way that our society is talking about in terms of marriage.
Okay. You mean with fathers leaving their kids and stuff?
Meaning, like, we're incentivizing single parent housing. We're
That messes you up a lot. If you're a single parent and trying to
basically,
yeah.
dude, you get rewarded for being a single mother or
Yeah,
single
yeah,
father.
Yeah.
Instead of
The family unit.
We should be incentivizing that.
That's what my dad always says. That always starts. All these problems can be solved if you state a family unit. It always starts in the family home.
Why isn't the government helping
Pushing
out
for
these? Yeah, helping, incentivizing family structures.
Yep.
So if the mother and father married, they have the child, they're working together, co-parenting.
Yep.
Working to raise a child. Why are we not paying the? If we're talking in more of a liberal sense here, but like
It makes sense.
devil's advocate here,
Yeah.
why aren't we sending the money towards the families that are actually working to keep their marriage going?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of it's not necessarily they don't love each other.
No.
Obviously they wouldn't be together if they didn't love each other. But
There are problems, though.
but it doesn't help that the government's saying, okay, well, if you're a single mother, you get so much money a month.
Yeah.
From the federal government. And then it's like, okay, well, who needs the father, right? He is a deadbeat drug addict,
He's somewhere out.
Just
Yeah,
let him
wherever
go.
he is,
Let
yeah.
him go. Have more baby mamas.
Yeah.
Let him do that, and just do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that answers a lot of the issues
Yeah.
that we're talking about in terms of when you go drive in Akron or Cleveland,
Yeah.
and you
I
see,
see a lot of suffering, though, that I think is not necessary.
yeah,
Honestly, it's just like what is wrong here? Like, and it is. I mean, Jen, I'm gonna step on some conservative toes here, but it is a lot of black people too. Let's talk about this.
yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's just something. There's some sort of connection there.
No, I think that probably is one of the most.
It's difficult to answer because it's so complex. All these issues are so complex.
I think it makes the most sense though when you talk about it in the sense of a family structure.
Okay.
I think that generally answers
If fathers
that
would actually
question.
stay around to help their
And same goes for
kids
the
and-
mothers. I mean,
yes.
mothers are not as much to blame, but it happens sometimes with the mothers where the mothers, don't care about their kid, and then it ends up pushed off on the father
bad
too.
parenting leads to deviance and
Yeah,
crime.
and this
and-
isn't just in the terms of Black
no,
Americans.
white women can struggle just as much.
This is every single American.
Yeah.
They like to say, or they tend to push it as like, oh, black people are only affected by this. No, this affects all Americans, guys. But I think that's the first thing that comes to your head is like, okay, well, we got to, pay these black families because they don't have the father figure in their life and they don't have that source of income. But it's like, well, you're not helping
Yeah.
by giving the single parents money.
That's really gonna incentivize
That's
them
actually
to stay where they're
incentivizing
at.
more of it.
Yeah.
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 Instead of saying, okay, we're going to cut off that government funding until you find a hubby
Yeah.
or get back with your hubby.
Yeah.
I mean,
but there are problems with that too, though. Basically telling them to go find someone, though. I mean, there is a problem with that, though.
well, I mean,
What I think we should do is I don't know. I've had this idea before, and I don't know where you stand on this, Jode, but help them actually get a job, right? Pay them a little bit of money, either like a month or however they choose to do it, like a system, and then gradually weighing them off for that until they have a full-time job and they're able to fully pay for their own stuff.
Yeah.
Like, why are we doing something like that? And instead, we're having these people live in these government-owned homes,
Yeah.
which they don't. I mean, I'm not going to speak this because I don't really know, but is it like, well, they don't have to do anything because they're basically being.
I'm just going to put my charger in here.
Yeah. Like, they're just basically living in these government-funded homes. And it's not. I don't know. They think the government's just going to solve everything for them.
Yeah, that's the...
Sound off in the comments, guys, if you guys like.
let us know what you think.
If you guys have been through any of this stuff, like, let us know like what the problem is, because.
And, you know, a lot of people deal with issues, family, home issues.
Oh yeah.
And I'm with Aiden on this. I think that we need to... I mean, I kind of disagree with him, but I agree with him in a sense that we need to be giving them help to find a job.
Yeah.
Not just giving them unemployment benefits.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
But-
I'm saying while they're having a job, if it's a job that like doesn't really pay much,
Yeah.
give them money until they can get on their feet, and then sort of pull back how much you give them until they don't need
Yeah.
them anymore.
And then,
Yeah, but don't make it sudden because that'll surprise them. They'll be like, oh shoot, I was being given money, now I'm not. What do I do?
and if we're so hell-bent on giving money to families, then give it to, a household that has a mother and a father.
Yes. Yep.
When you get to that point, then you get some government benefits for staying together.
Yeah.
It
And
incentivizes
working through
that
things.
family structure.
Looking through things. Yes. Yeah. Yes.
And to a lesser point, to a lesser extent, the LGBTQ stuff is not helping in terms of the
Focusing on
family
that,
structure.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's part of the disease that is killing the family structure.
Yeah. The family unit. Yes.
Because you're saying, okay, well, a father and a father in the household is just the same as a father and a mother.
No.
Well, that is incorrect.
Genesis has a few words to say about that.
Yeah.
Seriously, like
Now,
that's the way God designed it. I mean, there's a reason for that.
I don't agree with same-sex marriage.
No.
As a conservative Christian, I don't agree with it. But at the same point, I also don't despise people that wish to live their life like that.
Wait, just don't push it down my throat and we'll be fine.
Yeah, because listen, I believe in finding happiness for yourself and your well-being. So if that's the route you wish to go, hey, it's a free country. Do it.
Do it.
I mean, I'm not going to push my ideas on you. I mean, may not agree
Yeah.
with your way of life, but that doesn't mean that you don't deserve to live the way you want.
Yeah, and be happy.
And be happy. If
Yeah.
that's how you want to live, then that's how you
Yeah.
want to live. That's your calling.
Yeah.
But
We don't choose that.
I try to be a reasonable human being. I'm not trying to be like I despise you because you're a homosexual,
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
no,
I don't, it's like
We're not fire and brimstone over here.
Yeah. I'm not, and we made that point in the transgender people in sports, not trying to be like that, but we're also, we're just trying to be reasonable people.
But there is something going on there where it is taking over, like it's becoming more prevalent than.
Yeah.
Not that it shouldn't be, but like.
But you agree with the
It's-
family structure
it's-
thing? Big time?
The Bible said something specific about marriage and how it should be done, and this is why.
Yep.
This is what is the consequences of not following what God has set in place.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
a good section.
So to sum that all up, you basically agree with me 60%, kind of, on it?
Maybe 70.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's just
I just wish I could find out what the issue is, because it's a lot of different things, I feel. Because we can't pretend that racism doesn't exist in areas like that. It's almost as if it does. Like, that's how it's looked to me. In some instances, almost.
I mean, I'm not saying that
Maybe maybe it's not. Maybe that's just how I'm perceiving it, but
I don't know. I'm quite satisfied with using the family structure as a explanation for a lot of this.
Yeah.
I think that plays a major role. Not saying it's the only role, but
Yeah.
it is certainly a major one. And there's no way of knowing every.
It probably is the major role. When fathers walk out on their families, it devastates everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, seriously, because he's supposed to be the leader of the household. He's supposed to make sure that the finances are in order
And
make
make-
sure that the families are fed.
And a child needs to grow up with both a mother
And a
figure
father.
and a father figure.
One to be more stern and then one to be more nurturing and caring. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But yeah, that I think that I don't know. I feel satisfied with that as an explanation personally.
Yeah,
Other people may disagree with us, but I think that's
I could
probably
definitely see that, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so the next section is basically Ben Shapiro explaining anti-racism.
Yeah.
This is Shapiro's version of
Take
it.
on it. His hot take.
Yeah, let me make sure the internet is connected because it was acting silly. So
This should be good. He always knows
anything
something
that has Ben Shapiro's explanation on it is usually pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah, we're good to go, boys.
We're going live,
boy. Yeah, Obi-Wan
And
gaming.
here we go.
Yesterday, Warren went to the well of the Senate, and she explained it was not enough to be not racist. You have to be anti-racist. I'm going to explain what she means by this and why this sort of language is deliberately vague, and also the amount of the meaning that it does carry is just wrong. It is morally wrong. Here is what Elizabeth Warren has to say about racism.
Pocahontas.
Being race conscious is not enough. It never was. We must be anti-racists. Removing the names, symbols, displays, monuments, and paraphernalia that honor or commemorate the Confederacy and anyone who voluntarily served it
What does the
from
Confederacy have to do with
military
this?
property is, in the broader scheme, only one step toward addressing systemic racism in our society. But it is an important step.
Okay, so what does she mean by anti-racist? Okay, this is a new language that we haven't heard until the past few years, right? It used to be that there was racist and there was not racist, because racist was a discrimination, was a point of view on human beings that was, you were either it or you were not, right? The idea was that you were racist if you believed that people were inherently inferior on the basis of race. That was the definition of racism. And then you were not racist if you didn't believe that. In the same way that you were either religious or you're not religious, right? There were three, let's take religious as a good counterpoint. Okay, you're religious, you believe in God. And then there was not religious, which is, I don't believe in God. That's just not my thing. And then there was anti-religious, which is you spend all your time fighting the religious, right? You're Richard Dawkins. You spend all your time fighting the religious.
Yep, that's so
Amen
true.
to that.
Okay, so there are three categories.
Amen.
Now, the same thing could be true in terms of racism, right? You could be racist, which is evil. You could be not racist, in which case
Wow,
you don't
David Shapiro
believe
says
in
that.
racism. You think that it is wrong.
Well, he's
And
just-
then
he's
you
just
go
explaining it.
anti-racist, and
Yeah, it's
presumably
almost
that
like
would be
he's
like
not what they
professional
say he
activists.
is.
What members of the left have now done is they've collapsed the two categories. So instead of three, you now have two categories. The categories are you're either racist or you're anti-racist. There's no such thing as not racist, right? This is what Elizabeth Warren is saying. This comes really courtesy of a guy named Ibram Kendi, who's a very, very radical writer on these issues. He's redefined the term racism to really mean
Yeah, he writes a lot
you
of
believe
articles. and,
individual human action
Yeah.
is not a
Okay.
reflection
Yeah.
of systems, then you are a racist. And so you have to tear down the systems in order to affect the individual human action.
No.
No.
And he actually says, I mean, he has made the contention effectively. I'm quoting Robin DiAngelo here, the author of the crappy book White Fragility. She says that Kendi has argued that if we truly believe that all humans are equal, disparity in condition can only be the result of systemic discrimination. So in other words, if there is one group of people and they are poorer than another group of people, the only possible reason that could happen is because of discrimination. And in fact, if you see two individuals and one of those individuals makes a bad decision and does something wrong and has a worse life, and another person doesn't do that, it is not they made individual bad decisions. They are both the products of the system. The system itself has been discriminatory in subtle and evil ways, and that is why they are not ending with equality of outcome. And Ibram Kendi basically says this out loud. Right? He says in his book, How to Be an Anti-Racist, which is basically the textbook from which Warren is quoting, he says, one either believes problems are rooted in groups of people as a racist, or locates the root of problems in power and policies as an anti-racist. Now notice the false binary there. There is a third choice. Problems are located in the individual, but individuals don't necessarily measure out equally across all various racial groups. Because if you took literally any group of people in a room and you drew a line down the middle of the group of people, forget about race, just statistically speaking, they would not be equal in outcome in any way. Any room in the world, you take a line, draw it randomly down the middle of the line, it will not be equal to people on the other sides of the room. Because again, when you aggregate individuals, there are always differences. This is just
Uh-oh. Sorry, the internet's cutting out
guys.
or something. Doesn't surprise me that the internet is spinning its wheels.
We're spinning wheel of death here.
I do have a new computer, guys. I wanted to get that set up before the podcast, but we did not do that. So, all right. Well, that pretty much, we'll just stop that there. Experiencing interruptions? Yes, we are. So anyways, let's just,
making a podcast is great, guys.
yeah,
It's
hopefully,
great.
hopefully my new iMac will fix the problems we're having in terms of the internet. So we can have a more smooth and streamlined experience here from Off the Grid Podcast Studios.
Yes.
And so sorry about that cutting off on Ben Shapiro's thoughts
Sorry,
there.
Jed.
I apologize to Ben Shapiro for that.
I'm sorry.
Sorry, Shapiro.
We failed you.
We failed you.
Dude, I think you guys are liking our background, though. Seriously.
I love it.
Dude, it's so nice.
It looks so much better.
It does. It really does. We've had some drawbacks, but we're having some positives.
Oh, yeah. And we're planning on putting the on-air light like on the wall up there.
Oh, yeah. I hope you guys can see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it looks good where it's at right now, though.
Yes, it does.
Anyways, yeah, so, yeah, we're able to see a screen of ourselves on there.
We got, he got his points across pretty well, though. He kind of explained
Yeah.
what that is.
He got across most of his points.
Yeah.
Before it decided to cut us off, the
So what did that-
overlords at Google.
So to, right? I'm going to be surprised. So to narrow that down, what was that basically saying, Judd?
It was basically saying that there was no way you could just be. There's no way. There's two ways you could be. You got to be either racist or an anti-racist.
There's no in between.
There's no in
You
between,
can't just think that it's just one.
and you can't just be not racist.
Right.
You know.
You have to actively fight. You have to actively fight for being anti-racist.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But I think what he's saying is that, and Shapiro probably says it best, but anti-racist basically fight every day against racism, are constantly, trying to fight those ideologies that, being racist against black people. But in the process of being anti-racist, they are racist themselves, because the exact same people that say that, are like, oh, we need to give, black people money for this and that.
People like Ibram X. Kendi, mind you.
Yeah, him himself, he's a huge racist, and people don't talk about that. He's racist against white people. Now you think, oh, we can only be racist against black people. That is not true. So don't even think that for a second. And you could also be racist, guess what? Against Asian people. Can be racist against, any race or ideology.
Against Muslims.
Yeah. So don't think it's just black people that are put upon. Like, even more so nowadays, maybe this is just, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but it kind of feels like white people are definitely discriminated against more nowadays than, black people aren't.
If you're a white Christian male, you better watch out.
If you're a straight white man, watch out.
Yeah.
Like us, I feel like you and me are very discriminated against now. And I'm not trying to be like, woe is me.
Right.
But
We have it so hard. No.
we have it so hard.
No.
No, I'm just saying it as a matter of fact. Like,
On a societal level,
yeah.
it seems that way. Yeah.
We can go into the ins and outs of like,
That.
all of that, like in terms of like examples where it happens,
We're
like
done with this even if we
like
have
in
time, yeah.
college and daily life, they're always like, oh well, there's a black person here, so
Not
we're
to
gonna
mention
give
me
him...
with disabilities, not even race stuff. For me, with like freaking
they
disabilities.
could
Oh my gosh,
they
dude.
could care
The
less
stuff
about that though.
The stuff that
All they care about
stuff
is
that I
whether
can tell
we're
you, yes.
skin color.
yeah,
Now, if you're a black person that is disabled, then oh man, you're
gonna get all the things.
gonna get all of it. Yep.
I got some stories to share there. Jeez.
So the next section, you want to read this one in?
Yeah. So apparently there was a critical
is
race study that's
interesting.
taught in an elementary school. Now this
No. It's up changing
crap.
curriculum.
Oh,
Yeah, you jumped a little
too
bit.
far, guys. Too
Aiden
far.
jumped. He time jumped.
Doing? Wait, that was supposed to be a Mario jump. I didn't know how to voice that. That did not sound like I wanted it to sound. God, please. Bruh. Anyway, changing curriculum requirements.
Nope.
Let's not do that.
Nope.
Stop.
Sorry, I love that sound effect. Sorry. Continue.
Nope, I don't. Anyway,
Nope.
shut up.
I can never use that enough.
Anyway, critical race theorists need to expose the broader public to the, and this is from that critical race training site or whatever. They say this: critical race theorists need to expose the broader public to the supposed racial biases imbued in long-standing institutions. To do this at the collegiate level, advocates have been pushing for changes in the undergraduate curriculum, ranging from a mandatory class on anti-racism to forcing instructors to embed anti-racist ideology into their class material. Holy shoot.
Yeah, and we're, especially at like the collegiate level, guys, we know that
They have
a lot
been
of
going
these,
ham on that.
and a lot of people that come out of college are coming out as, you know, these liberal, not even liberals, because leftists.
I mean, it's leftist.
I mean, it's, you know, I don't like to push the liberals
And-
into this category too. So
And
we'll say,
Antifa supporting leftist nuts.
yeah. I mean, these people don't have reasoning. They don't think for themselves. All they do is they get brainwashed by these college professors that like to tell their students, hey, you are all racist.
Basically, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's what they tell them.
And
Just because you're white, literally.
and these professors like to get up on their moral high horse and tell you, you know, what you need to think. Like, instead of just teaching you about biology, they're teaching you what they interpret as biology, not what actually is.
Yeah.
You know, instead of saying, you know, woman is a woman,
Not even they.
they can't even.
I bet the professors answer to the state,
Yeah.
even.
I mean, they can't come out and say what a actual woman is.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes into another big thing that I you know, we were debating whether to do that podcast tonight instead, was what is a woman?
Well, might do that next, yeah.
You know, that's another huge thing, and I kind of want to go into that
Yeah.
next, or either that or the LGBTQ. What?
Sorry. Nothing.
Oh, I know what you mean. That's wrong. Yeah.
Nope.
Me too, Joe. Me too.
Oh, I saw.
You had to let him on my brain waves.
I did not mean it to come across like that. Aiden, you get your mind out of the
Dirty
gutter,
dog.
man. You dirty dog. Get your mind out of the gutter, my guy.
Nope. Bruh.
Choking on ice, though. Ugh.
Aiden.
Anyway, so this is what really makes me mad. I found this all. Did I find this? I think I found this.
I can't remember. It was a week ago.
Someone found it. One of us did. So basically, unsurprisingly, this is California, though.
It was our producer that found it. No, I'm just kidding.
It was
It's
our
just us.
producer. I wish.
Yeah, no. We produce and our own podcast.
So, a California elementary school is pushing critical race theory on third grade students, according to a new report. A teacher at an elementary school in Cupertino allegedly instructed third graders to rank themselves based on their, quote, power and privilege, end quote, during a math lesson.
What the fuck?
What? Like,
During a math lesson.
What?
Like,
A
sorry.
third grade teacher at the.
excuse my language there, but
My goodness gracious. A third grade teacher at the.
we are uncensored on this podcast. I will say that.
elementary school told the 8 and 9-year-old students that they live in a, quote, dominant culture of white, middle-class, cisgender, educated, able-bodied Christians
Oh, they're jealous, huh?
who created...
Jealousy on at its finest, right there. You're jealous because I'm a cisgender, educated, able-bodied Christian. Oh, you're just jealous that I
actually succeeded
worship
in life.
our God, Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Like, what the heck? Are you jealous of that? I mean, you can join anytime.
Jesus says love everybody.
He doesn't matter. He don't care if you're poor, rich, or poor. I mean, like, he loves all.
Come on,
mean-
worship with us, man, guys. Seriously.
Sounds like jealousy to me.
You can have this too, guys.
Yeah.
Like, seriously.
I know.
Like, seriously.
It's so true.
Yeah. Who created and maintained this culture in order to hold power and stay in power. According to... See, to dive off of that for a minute, if I may, Jared.
Yeah.
So much of your soul hurts in that. Like, that's where it's like, okay, these people need they actually do need a savior right there. That's that's not just a race issue. That's a hard issue right there. That's something that only God can fix right there. Like, seriously.
And I think if these...
They're jealous because we have a security
Yeah.
in Jesus.
Right.
And in the back of the mind, even though they don't
I wasn't
realize-
kidding when I said they're jealous.
Even if they don't realize it, they want that. Their spirit yearns for that. They just don't realize it yet.
And they're taking it out on us because they don't have
They're jealous
that.
because we have that security in Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are insecure because they don't have Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And they also... So their insecurity comes from... Well, they're looking
Satan,
at...
first of all.
That, and they're like looking at, okay, well, all white students are racist, and, you know, they're, you know, based on power and privilege.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
You're not talking about the real issue. It's a soul issue. It's a heart
Yeah.
issue. You know?
Yeah.
We have a security here that you guys do not have.
Mm-hmm.
But you can earn it, though.
And it's
No, not earn it. It'll be given to you freely.
free of charge.
Yeah. Come on. Like,
I mean, you know church is every Sunday, right?
yeah. It's
Every,
not just church. You can get down on your knees tonight and do it. Like, just
Yeah.
really like, just, you know.
but like seriously, find
No.
yourself a church.
No,
and
but they are so defensive, though, about that. Like, they have so many guards put up, and it's like, I don't
let your
understand.
guard down.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like
Let the Holy Spirit in. I mean, come on.
that's
like-
what is holding back the Holy Spirit and like you coming to Jesus and like coming to God and like talking to him. Like you can't talk to him
Like,
if you're
help
gonna
me.
if
Help
you're
me.
gonna have all these barriers
And
built
walls,
up around
and
you.
walls.
Like Gorbachev tear down this wall. You know, like,
God is
seriously.
a pro at knocking down walls. Let me tell you that much.
Yeah.
Seriously. And that's a good thing, guys. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
And did you get to the talk about Christopher F. Rufo? Did you say that
According-
yet?
I was just about to.
Okay.
That's what I was going to continue.
I was just about to say because
Yeah.
I recognize
Yeah.
that name.
According to Christopher F. Rufo, contributing editor of City Journal, the students live in a city where 67% of the population is Asian American, and the median household income was $171,917.
Like that's a good
That's a good income, yes.
Yeah. But what I was sorry, I kind of went off topic there,
No,
but I
that's
saw that
good.
Christopher F. Rufo name.
Wait, but can I
I recognize the name because he was the one that leaked the Disney woke thing, that Disney meeting where they basically
Yes.
admitted to the
Brainwashing.
of LGBTQ in children's
just
media.
instituting that, and
Yeah, this is the guy that
hence why
leaked
DW
it.
Kids. It's really so much. I am so excited for. By the way, I know what I'm raising my kids off of.
Yeah,
Seriously,
telling you guys. I mean, I know we're not sponsored by Daily Wire by any means,
that would be
but
so
like,
amazing. First of all, if we were
yeah, or just
have a
being.
show on Daily Wire.
Oh my God, yeah, that'd be an everyday thing too.
Yes,
We'd be going live at a certain time each day.
Yes,
I would probably try for an
pants?
afternoon time slot.
yeah.
Not,
yeah, dude.
not a morning time slot. I'm not
No.
a morning talk show host. I'm an afternoon guy myself.
Yes.
And then have some shrimp on the barbie after.
Okay, David Tennant.
What? Yeah. I don't know what's going on anymore, guys. I'm lost.
Anyway, though, yeah, like again, to me, that is a waste. Not a waste issue. It's a hard issue. It's a hard issue, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, do you want to read this one?
So the next section on that website, instituting disciplinary. I can't
There you
talk.
go.
Disciplinary measures.
Disciplinary.
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 Disciplinary. Right? Yeah, I said it right. Yeah.
There you go.
University administrators have taken steps to clamp down on academic freedom, revising their codes of conduct and commitments to academic freedom by inserting vague language on hate speech and racist language, among other measures.
What book does that remind you of? 1984.
Yep.
The whole language control game.
Yep.
Forming new words. Maybe not forming new words yet, but controlling the flow of them. To start off with.
Right. And, okay, so real quickly.
We'll have this talk later, too, because that fascinates me as well, but...
Well,
if you want. You don't have to, but it just fascinates me in particular.
before we get into this next article that kind of ties in with
the
it.
site name is kind of weird, but like,
Yeah,
I found this one, guys, so that's why.
we know what websites are found by Aiden.
Yes. Guys, that's literally just warning. This is just the name of the site. I wasn't trying to.
Start any riots. Or
No,
anything.
anything like that. No, this is not January 6th.
Yeah,
Over here, no.
not January 6th in the place, man.
No.
The January Sixers. It's a basketball team.
The New Washington, D.C. basketball team.
The January Sixers.
Instead of the 76ers.
Yeah. And it has Trump as their mascot. They would have a cow. The January Sixers.
The Philadelphia January 6th. My God.
Oh, that's bad.
And the uniforms are red and blue.
Oh my God. And
they all have
and they have the horn guys. The January Sixers. That's so bad.
Oh my God.
Introducing your Philadelphia January Sixers.
Introducing your hometown January 6th.
The hometown Philadelphia January Sixers. And they're all come running out on the.
We need a with a huge 3%ers flag.
Yeah, there's a Trump flag and they're running out on the basketball court. I was like, what is going on?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
That is so bad.
how come we didn't think about that
so
before?
bad.
That is hilarious. That was on accident.
That is awesome.
Anyways, so in terms of the what?
The QAnons.
Oh my God.
Oh my gosh, stop.
So in terms of
Anyway,
like
language control is what we were talking about.
yeah, I mean that is a huge thing right now, especially
on social media.
yeah, Twitter and
specific.
Facebook to be specific.
That's why we're trying to move over to TikTok for now, at least. I mean, I'm sure they're going to do it too. I'm sure they're going to do it too.
You know, TikTok I'm sure has its forms of
plans in place.
yeah. You know, I want to move our podcast over to Rumble too because that's a conservative platform.
Yeah.
I still want to stay on YouTube, obviously, because YouTube's we have the most subscribers on YouTube.
Our main source, yeah.
But I'm looking forward to expanding out to other avenues in case something happens where we do get banned.
Yeah.
On YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, God forbid that
God
we do.
forbid.
But, you know,
70 subscribers, I'm sorry, guys. You guys just, lost all your content. Like,
yeah, it's
lost all our content.
Yeah, it's like
That would be heartbreaking. Like,
yeah, I don't want. Yeah, it'll make me upset. I don't know how.
because we're not crowded. We don't know how to fix that. We don't have people hired.
I don't have lawyers ready to attack them.
No.
And I don't know how Crowder deals with it, to be honest with you, because like
it's so often
he has to deal with it like on a weekly basis. It's like everything, even if he's spitting true facts, YouTube is like, oh, okay, well, that's not confirmed by, other
fact checkers.
Our liberal fact checkers. It's like, well, you know what? Maybe you should start hiring people that are more middle of the road and not looking at it as a political stance.
Well, it's an algorithm too, which is kind of sucky, but
right.
The algorithm decides what.
But the reason why he's still on YouTube is that he has those lawyers to fight for him, and also he has a lot of subscribers.
Can you imagine, like, if we got banned? We don't have lawyers, dude.
And we don't have the subscribers like
73.
Crowder has.
I mean, granted, thank God.
Thank every one of them. But
thank God for each and every one of you.
Yeah. But if,
that's not enough to fight that, though.
Right. And
big, bad
also,
YouTube,
YouTube is, and not to put anything down of what we do here, but like YouTube is not going to be at a huge loss if they lose off the grid podcasts.
Right.
Compared to Crowder. Like if
I was
they
just about to say that, yeah.
If they ban Ben Shapiro or Crowder and they ban all of them,
that's a huge hit on the conservative YouTube platform.
Yeah, and a lot of people are going to leave YouTube. Like a lot of viewership is going to drop down. Like that's a lot of money for because you got to remember
that's a lot of traffic lost.
Because you got to remember YouTube advertising.
Oh yeah,
big thing. They have huge incentives.
There was one that popped up about the Jeremy's Razor.
That was actually on a Daily Wire video, which is ironic. But
no, but the ad popped up though.
Yeah,
the algorithm decided that was the ad to pop up.
And the algorithm's doing a good job, I guess.
Can you imagine if they left?
Yeah,
that was my point.
So again, social media is one branch on this tree,
Yeah.
but another branch on this tree is books that are being banned. Now, I will make a clear distinction. Books that get banned in school is different than books that gets banned in a public library.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean by that?
Are you saying that books shouldn't be banned in public libraries, but it's up to the school to decide what?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know if I agree with that either, but
I don't necessarily agree with the types of books they're banning.
but you're more okay with it because it's a school system. I
Yeah,
guess.
because it makes
Yeah.
sense, but then it also depends what they're putting on their shelf.
Yeah.
Like, because if they're putting all these LGBTQ books, but then they're not putting a book that talks
Like
about a family
animal-
structure and stuff, like going back to that,
Or like Animal Farm or
or
1984.
or
Fahrenheit 451 to be ironic.
yeah, book burning at its
Yeah. And its finest.
yeah,
That's a terrifying.
favorite pastime of mine.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
Get out the Elon Musk flamethrower, guys.
Oh, there's Jared with his bonfire. It's that time of year. It's back to burning books. Hey, I already read them. I'm done.
Yeah. We have Kindle now, guys.
Yeah. No, but actually,
Seriously,
good
though,
thing you
like-
brought that up, though, dude, because think about this. If you put,
Oh gosh, Kindle can begin to.
they can ban books
Censor-
at any
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Even if you own the book on
Yeah.
Kindle, they can
Yeah.
take it off
Hence
your
why
thing,
paperback stuff is so valuable.
because they can't physically yet.
Can you imagine if they only made Bibles of digital?
Yeah. They
That'd
can.
be terrifying.
But think
yeah.
about this, dude. We're not at this point yet. but
Hopefully, we'll never get there.
where, the government comes knocking on your door and saying, do you have this book in your
Do you
possession?
have the Bible? Let's just say, because that one is going to be talking. You know that for a fact.
Yeah. Because it talks about all these things that are against the LGBTQ
Yeah,
ideology,
Yeah.
especially with, gay marriage.
religious books. You're saying?
Religious books, yeah.
Yeah,
Not only the Bible, but I think...
the Quran is too. Oh, so much more there too.
But I think in terms of Christianity, that's definitely the one that is most targeted.
We're going to be under attack. Yes.
Yeah. We are very much persecuted nowadays, even more than we were,
We're
I
the
think,
most
now.
persecuted religion in the world. I mean,
Yeah.
there's a reason for yeah. Anyway,
Anyways, yeah, sorry.
if they come knocking on your door and ask to see your books, yes,
If it gets to that point, that'll be really scary.
yeah.
It's already bad enough that they're banning books that you already own digitally.
Yeah.
That's why it's like, okay,
These are little seeds that are being planted.
it's very nice and convenient to have all your books on your iPad and
Yeah.
you can just read them whenever you want. And like you go to the pool and have, relax out in the sun and
Your
read a book
phone
a little
and read-
bit.
Yeah.
Take a break from the pool for a little while, read a book. Like that's nice. But,
It's
you
digital,
could,
it's digital.
but it's digital.
Like, there's a lot of implications with that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of implications with that.
And we're not just, being conspiracy theorists here. This is actually happening.
Digital is a good medium, though,
It is.
when it's used properly.
But it could be abused.
Immensely. Mm-hmm. They can take they don't even have to. Oh, dude, they don't even have to ban these books, dude. They can do so much stuff. Like, I'll use the Bible again as an example, right? Digitally. If the AI gets to where it's going with these companies that are building it, if it keeps advancing, they could take whole verses out of the Bible
Yeah.
and just resell it without all the stuff that they don't want in it.
Yeah. They could rewrite the Bible.
Yeah, yeah. They don't even have to ban it.
Again, same thing with the dictionary.
Yeah.
What are they doing digitally with the
Yes,
dictionary?
changing definitions.
Yep. Like with they, them.
Yeah.
That is not inherently a pronoun, but if
They're saying that it is.
I guarantee
they're going to do that.
I guarantee if you look at dictionary.com or Merriam-Webster or whatever you look at,
Urban?
or even God forbid Urban Dictionary,
No, they'd have probably a funny.
they probably have a funny take on it. But
Yeah.
seriously though, if you look at Merriam-Webster.com,
Yeah, like any sort of dictionary website, yes.
if you look there and type in they, them, it probably shows that it is, or just type in they as a definition.
Yeah.
It'll probably say under there that it's a pronoun too.
Yeah.
Uses a pronoun.
And like with all these TikTok creators now, with like
Woke TikTokers. Yeah.
saying their pronouns, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Or they put it in their profile.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like,
How about I'm going to call you for what you are?
yeah.
Unpopular opinion, but I'm going to call you for what you are. And dude, this is funny though. real quick story.
Yes, please.
I was with my girlfriend at Kent State. Mind you, Kent State is very liberal, very, very left wing. But we were doing this. There was like some special event going on. And
oh gosh, I don't want to.
it was just like, where they were talking about different activities you can get involved with on campus.
Yeah.
But my girlfriend, Victoria, she's involved in, she has to get involved in these activities because she's part of scheduling those kind of things and like planning those events.
Yeah.
So she had to go to one of them for one of her RAs, planned it. And so she was showing up to show support for their event. And she went there and we were talking to a couple of students, and it was hard to keep my mouth shut. I had to like zip my mouth, like lip shut, because
she was probably proud of you for that, though.
Yeah, she was like glad that I didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Because she's like, hey, my name.
She knows what you say.
So
she knows what.
Yeah. So
yeah,
this girl was like this girl.
This fellow student of yours.
This fellow student. Well, I'm not a student no more, so I guess not really a fellow student, but she's a student at Kent State, and she's like introduced herself. I don't remember what her name was, but because I got distracted after she said her pronouns. But
that's when you fell off the train.
Yeah. So say her name was Tracy. Hey, my name is Tracy. I go by they them, and I'm like. I was like twitching at the. I'm like, yeah, I was so struggling to say anything. I was like, I'm gonna call you for what you are. As I wanted to say. Oh man, dude, I was struggling there, or
steam was coming out of your ears.
I was struggling from laughing too, and that would have been really bad. Very embarrassing. It's like, I can't bring my boyfriend anywhere. These social events, I can't bring him anywhere. I can't bring this conservative boyfriend anywhere because he just wants to laugh at all these pronoun introductions.
God. That is awesome.
I struggled so much. And then Victoria's even mentioned, she's like, I'm surprised you didn't say anything. I'm like, yeah. Me too. I was struggling, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez.
Forgive me. or be proud of me. It depends how you look at it.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah. For not making a fool of myself. Or
you get out the whiteboard. You are an idiot.
You.
Wait, how did he say that, Joe?
Yeah, F for you and you and you. And all of you.
All of you. F all of you and your pronouns.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh, jeez.
No, seriously though.
Okay, why? Okay.
That was funny though.
Why are those a thing? First of all, like, I don't even know how those became a thing. You know what I mean? Like,
well, there are a lot of, kind of going on a tangent here, but, and, we can go into this, like, really in depth in the next podcast if we wish to.
yeah.
But
As a preview, I guess.
yeah, as a preview, like, this whole pronoun thing is ridiculous on its face, guys. And I can't believe.
Why though? Explain.
Well, I'll explain.
Yeah.
We keep peddling, not you and me necessarily, but the mainstream
Media.
And all these schools keep peddling this false narrative that we can make up our own pronouns, and then we have to expect other people to respect it. So if I
Call them by that, what they want to be called by. Yeah.
So if you're in your own delusion and you say, well, hey, I'm Elon Musk, so you must call me by Elon Musk. But it's like, but that's not your name. Your legal name is Jared Obelisk.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to call you Elon Musk.
Unless you go to the whoever writes names or whoever does that and change your paper, like write down.
In the words of Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire, he's like, well, okay, so you got to call me by my preferred adjectives, handsome and brilliant.
Yeah.
So I identify as handsome and brilliant. So every time you refer to me, you got to describe me as handsome and brilliant. Doesn't that just blow up the whole idea right there?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean, though? by that? Like, do you understand like how wrong that is by just like how he explained it? Do you know what I mean though?
I'm kind of confused. So you kind of lost me.
Okay. What do you want
Like,
me to
just-
clarify?
So
Especially
basically-
for the audience too, because maybe
Just
they.
like the last part.
So if you're say if you say, well, maybe I don't have the same idea about you as you have about yourself. So if I say, well, I describe you as, you know, a great friend
Yeah.
and stuff. Well, then what if you're saying, well, no, I'm a horrible friend.
Yeah.
But Aiden,
you must
you're-
call me, but yeah, you're.
But
okay,
Aiden,
okay.
I think you're a great friend, and you're like, no, I'm horrible.
Yeah.
Why are you calling me that?
Yeah.
I'm offended
Yeah.
that you think that I'm that good of a person.
That kind of language. I got you. Yeah.
Because it's all about
You're looking negative on yourself too, in a way.
and it's all about self
You're
perception.
degrading. Do you think you're putting yourself out there, but you're kind of degrading yourself in a
Yeah,
sense.
and same thing with like all these pronouns. Like
Now, like, thanks
So-
for explaining that, but that was really clear. Well done.
okay, good. So like if
Yeah,
you
it's basically degrading yourself, basically.
yeah, so
On a
if you
certain
go
level.
by they them,
Yeah.
well, I don't.
There's no uniqueness in that. You talk about wanting to be unique, but I mean,
Yeah, and
no. Where's the? I don't see any
so not only do
any
they
positivity in that. I don't see any.
so the
Maybe that's
delu-
just me,
yeah. So the delusion is like so a lot of the
and it is a delusion. I will say that it is a delusion that I wish Godspeed in them dealing with.
I draw a line in the sand.
That
When
is
it
what's
comes
known
to this.
in the 50s. This was known as gender dysphoria. It was a mental illness, and I can
it
look
still
this
is.
up, and I can look this up in the DSM-5 of Diagnostical and Statistical Manual Disorders. I mean, mental disorders.
Mm-hmm.
I can look this up if you guys would want. I mean, whatever. But fight me on this. I mean, I don't care. But seriously, it is known as gender dysphoria, and it is a condition which I wish anyone who deals with. I feel sad for them, and Godspeed.
Yeah,
I'm dealing with in any way that they can. But to say that I should give in to their mental illness, that's like saying treat your depression as if there's nothing wrong with it.
or just say, just keep doing what you're doing.
Just kill
You're doing-
yourself,
You're doing a great
basically,
job.
yeah.
You're depressed. You're staying home all day.
Yeah.
Just
You
keep doing
wanted
what
to
you're
kill
doing.
yourself, but it's fine. Like, don't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like supporting someone that is depressed and
And
saying,
suicidal.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
hey, I feel like killing myself. It's like, okay, well, do it. You're doing great.
You're doing a great job. Yeah. Not receiving help for it.
Yeah. Now that's a little bit more extreme, but that's a way of explaining the delusion in these pronouns.
Delusion part of it. Yeah. Yeah.
Like, sorry guys, like I just said several minutes ago, like
What is the definition of delusion? Delusion in the psychiatry field, right? Delusion is defined as someone believing a false reality.
yeah,
Textbook
textbook definition right there.
of what their pronouns is what this is.
But listen, like I just said several minutes ago, I fully support. Well, I don't fully support, but I also I don't necessarily fully support, but I do agree with like letting people live the life the way they want to
Be
live
happy,
it.
yes.
Just don't push that shit on me.
Yeah.
You know, like I'm sorry, but just because you identify yourself as a Xi Jing, you know, if that's what your pronouns are, Xi Jing Ping Pong over there in China. That's his actual name. No, I'm just kidding. No, but like if that's
Seriously, though, yeah.
you can make up your own pronouns too, which is absolutely.
I'm a unicorn
Dumb.
now, Jude. I'm a unicorn now.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was misgendering you this whole time, or
Yeah.
pronouncing you, whatever. How do you say that? Mispronouncing you? What?
Isn't that so confusing?
I'm like, my
it's
wheels
so
are-
confusing, isn't it?
I'm confusing myself. Just like
Yeah.
that's why it's like
They're
if-
building these webs, and it's like, what am I supposed to do here?
even my girlfriend has to.
Dude, I feel bad for the older generation when they have to start with, like, oh my gosh.
They got to start learning all this new stuff
Yeah.
that they never grew up with.
Yeah.
We got to start.
That TikTok is so true. Parents of 2050, hello, non-binary offspring.
Hello, birthing people. Fellow birthing people. Yeah, it's like you got a women's group that comes together for a meeting. Hello, my fellow birthing people. Just you're women.
Yeah, what?
I mean, come on.
What? Oh man, That's so
No,
true. That's
literally,
so
that's
true.
how AOC describes women as
Yes,
birthing people. How
To degrade them,
demoralizing and
You want to
degrading.
talk about degrading women? If the Democrats were serious, they would toss that shit so far.
At one point in time, dude, they fought for women's rights.
oh,
what
they
are they
did.
doing now?
They did. They did.
They're doing the opposite now.
Shitting on them.
And they
They're not feminists. They say they are, but they're not feminists. They're not true feminists. True feminism is that poster, like, we can do it. That's what that is.
yeah.
Come on now. Isn't it like Rosie something?
Yeah, that's exactly her name. But
Yeah.
you know, also you got to just acknowledge the fact that there's a difference between men and women, and that it's okay that women have their own, strengths and weaknesses, and men have.
That's more than okay. That's more than okay. Because if you're trying to raise children, I'm saying that's more than
Right.
okay.
Listen,
they have different
like-
strengths than we do. Like
That's amazing that women can just birth a child. You know,
they're,
it's like,
they're basically wizards.
yeah, you're a wizard, Harry. when you can birth a child, you're a wizard, Harry.
Like a portal.
Oh, where'd that thing come from? You're a wizard, Harry.
My God, stop.
There's a lot of funny moments in this podcast already.
Oh man.
Let's get back on track here.
Good
Sorry,
discussion.
guys.
Good discussion.
Very
Good
funny
discussion.
stuff.
Good discussion though. Seriously. So that was a preview.
Next, this is
Do you want to read this one, Drew?
this is a
An actual. Now getting back to the critical race theory.
yes,
So this is a discipline policy that was this Washington school.
implemented.
created, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is from Legal Insurrection. Hence,
And this is tied at the hip to the last section we were just reading
The
about hate
disciplinary
speech and
measures,
racist
yeah.
language.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So hence why I made the January 6th joke. This is from legalinsurrection.com. I know.
Yep.
The site sounds.
That's where we got the January
January 6th
6th.
is from.
God, we went on a tangent.
Yes.
So
Anyway, according to this policy, right?
yeah, disruptive students may face, quote, exclusionary as well as positive and supportive forms of discipline, end quote.
Yeah, that's
but
what shocked me, OP.
but the focus the policy maintains is to keep students in the classroom and provide, quote, equitable, there's that buzzword again,
Yep.
educational
Ding,
opportunities.
ding, ding, ding. We got another one.
It's another liberal buzzword. What's the liberal buzzword of the day? It's equitable. Who's that? What's that buzzword?
What's that buzzword? It's equitable.
And there's always a scream after. Oh my God!
Oh, great heavens.
Oh, great heavens!
The perfect time to use it too.
Yes.
Oh, I'm glad we had that. Oh, great heavens! Sorry, guys, I'm having too much fun.
We are having too much fun.
To make
This is what we
student,
are, guys.
this is what we do. To make student discipline outcomes more, quote, equitable, the policy must meet, quote, individual student needs in a culturally responsive manner via culturally responsive discipline, end quote. The state
What does that even mean? Discipline is discipline.
the whole thing is to confuse people.
Well, let's finish.
let's
this
continue.
First. Yeah, let's finish this first.
The state officially defines, quote, culturally responsive as knowledge of student cultural histories and contexts, as well as family norms and values in different cultures.
Okay. Family no. Okay, we already talked about that.
Knowledge and skills in accessing community resources and community and parent outreach, and skills in adapting instruction to students' experiences and identifying cultural context for individual students.
But I
end
guarantee
quote.
you that their parent outreach isn't the same as our idea of parent outreach. What we want to do.
Right.
I guarantee you.
In practice, it means favorable treatment of racial minorities. That's
Again,
what we wanted to
that-
get to.
Again, that sounds nice on paper. It really does. But it can probably fall apart pretty quickly, right?
Yeah, but you know what it... that's it
is
for that
it is a
section. But
yeah, it is a utopian society that they want, basically, and that's not possible.
And this kind of shows, like, they refuse. This also kind of goes into our legal system and what's messed up in it.
Why? Just because it says legal inspection?
Well, that might be why it's the website. It might be a little biased in its thing, but hey, we're not on board with that website necessarily. So with the legal system,
They
dude,
seemed more than just conservative with me surfing on the site for like a little while.
yeah,
It seemed like they were more like on the right side of it. No, but they got this article the way. They got this. I mean, this is something that was actually passed. I mean, so come on. Like, you can't.
Yeah. Well, think about this, though, dude. Like, with
Yeah.
the legal system, they, when you got, like, well, what happened recently? Like, that black man drove over a crowd of
That was in
people.
Kenosha?
In
No, not Kenosha.
No, where was that?
Oh, well,
Shoot.
it was at some fair or something.
You remember it was like a parade?
Yes. it
And
was
then
a huge
this
red
guy
suit. They
drove
just-
on to
Yes.
and killed, like, several people.
Was it Willamette? Willamette? Is that what it was?
I don't remember, but the media, this is kind of not the point of the thing.
I think I know where you're going, though.
But the media
Yes.
refused to talk about the fact that it was a black man that ran over a bunch of white people.
Yeah.
And also the guy...
But to go on that, though, doesn't Shapiro, though, also not do that, though?
What do you mean?
When he talks about evil people, he doesn't mention names. He doesn't give them.
Yeah, he doesn't...
credit for-
Yeah, so that's probably why we don't know the name, because I usually go by the Daily Wire as a source.
He says he hates that because he doesn't want to give
them fame.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
But this man...
Mainstream media also did that, though, from what I heard.
Right. No, I think they released his name.
Okay.
But this man did not serve
a full sentence.
I think he was out on bail.
Yeah. And then look what he did. Right when he got out of prison, look what he did. Within hours, I heard, right?
This guy has...
First of all, a record, a mile long.
A record of other criminal activities. This guy should have been locked up for life.
Yeah.
But our
legal
system
is fudged.
And they feel like, well, we don't want all these black people in prison because, it's too many black people in prison means we're racist or something. No, that just means those black people did bad things. You need to lock them up. That's just like if there's a lot of white people in prison, on a general sense, more black people commit more crimes than whites. It's been proven.
Yeah.
There's actual stats that back it up, so don't even start saying I'm a racist. Look it up.
Yeah.
So then instead of saying, okay, just acknowledging the fact that these people are evil and should be locked up for life,
right.
They say that, we're
but it's not
being
their
discriminatory.
Color, but it's not their color, though, that we went after them for. It's because he fucking ran over a bunch of people in a freaking vehicle.
This guy has committed other crimes before that. So this guy should have been in prison, but guess what? He killed more people because he got released.
Yeah. In the worst way possible, too.
Yeah. This man should never see the light of day. I don't know how he got out.
Yeah.
It's messed up.
Yeah.
And we talk about legal system issues. I take a different stance on that. Like me and Aiden, we think that there needs to be stricter punishments.
Yeah.
Especially for sexual predators. That's a whole nother thing.
Dude, I'm still haunted by that. I don't know if our school should have done that.
Done
that
what?
day. Remember when we looked at the database? Did you do that?
What was it?
There was a social studies thing that we did, but we looked at the Stark County database for pedophiles. Apparently the police had like a database on it, and they were all over. It's like, we gotta go hunting, boys.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like...
Oh, how you can see who lives close to you?
Who might be a predator, yeah.
I think there was one in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
Down the road.
Like, jeez.
Yeah. I don't know if he still lives close by, but
it's creepy, dude.
Yeah. At least when you go trick-or-treating, don't go to that house.
Good Lord.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Because I think one year that house was giving out candy, which was not good.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Laced with something.
Yeah.
That's not another thing, though.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
Next section. You want to read this one?
Yeah. Is politically supporting anti-racist activism. Institutions have either donated money to political groups like local Black Lives Matter chapters or redirected students to politically biased organizations in an effort to placate campus activists. And I'm guessing this was in response to the whole George Floyd situation, correct?
Yes.
That whole specific thing.
And...
Which, I mean, at the time, I get why. I mean, you had someone who
but then you
legitimately murdered.
Right, and then you also look at the fact, it's like...
They have a right to protest. I mean, fine, okay.
Yeah, but, giving the money to this Black Lives Matter group, chapter or whatever chapter you donate to, they use this money for things that, it's like they're not helping black people. They're using it to buy a house for these elites that are within
Ibram
the
X
company. not Ibram X. Kendi necessarily, but
People like him.
you heard
People
about
like
that?
him, though.
You heard about that Black Lives Matter leader that supposedly used some of the Black Lives Matter money to buy a mansion in a white neighborhood.
Like what?
You're not buying a mansion in a black neighborhood. You're buying it with these other racists.
Oh, for
If you think these white people are so racist, then why are you living close
why are
to
you
them?
hanging with? That's like that. That's like that Ice Cube song.
What?
No Vaseline. You're gonna have to listen to it when we have time. It's
Okay.
funny, but yeah, it's literally
That's so funny.
living with the whites.
Yeah.
Seriously though, like, it's so hypocritical.
It
It's
is.
so hypocritical. And then you're also funding, which I mean, okay, I get this. They don't know who's gonna do what,
Yeah.
but they're kind of funding riots too. Which I mean, I give them credit for that. I mean, I give them the devil's advocate for that. They don't know who's gonna start tossing bricks and, you know.
Yeah, they're doing it to just cover their own butts because they're afraid of these looters and rioters that, support the Black Lives Matter movement. And, if you don't donate or put up a sign outside your business that says Black Lives Matter, then you'll get looted.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes for one of the other businesses that are in Akron. It's on, I'm not going to name the business, but it's on West Market in Akron. It's a restaurant. They have during that whole Black Lives Matter thing, they had, a huge Black Lives Matter flag in the restaurant. They had every single black person that was killed by police officers all over the wall.
To prevent their store from getting freaking
And,
broken into.
and some of these people that are on the wall were rightfully killed.
Yeah.
Because they were actually threatening officers.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but
You don't know what an officer's thinking in that,
being an officer's tough.
especially now.
Yeah. I mean, I applaud anyone who is signing up to be an officer who's working towards that.
I would say don't do it now. I mean, I'm sorry.
But the thing is,
Don't be
unfortunately,
an officer. Like,
we do need more officers on the streets. So we need more people that are brave enough to step up to the plate and say, you know what? I don't care what you say about, all police officers being racist, but I'm going to serve and protect everyone, every American, no matter whether you're black, Asian, purple, green, violet, whatever, gold, whatever race, whatever pronoun you identify yourself as.
you're an alien from Mars.
Yeah.
You get extra protection because you're being Alien 51.
Yeah. God bless the
God bless the alien.
God bless the aliens that live off the frozen water on that planet.
God bless the aliens that live on the frozen water.
There is frozen water on Mars.
Wait, why frozen water?
It's tough to live with just frozen water. Never mind.
It's tough for them guys. They're being discriminated against. The Martians up on Mars.
Boy, we went down a rabbit hole.
No, we went up. We went up technically.
Yeah. We used one of Elon Musk's rockets
Rockets
and
to
went
go.
all the way to Mars. We made history, guys. We're the first people on Mars.
And we discovered ALM, Alien Lives Matter.
Yeah. Speaking of which, and
Oh gosh, this.
all
Do
lives.
you want me to read I'll read this for you. Do you want me to read this?
Yeah, go ahead.
This gets me fired up because I.
Go ahead, my guy.
Hold on. No. We haven't
Oh, yeah.
done it.
Shoot, man. I'm
This
sorry. I
is an important
skipped.
one to me. Funding. Wow.
Funding.
Freaking hillbilly.
Congrats.
Freaking hillbilly.
You're welcome.
Funding critical race theory programs and research, right? So this is another point in this site that they want to accomplish. Institutions have poured in thousands, if not millions of dollars into research on critical race theory and racism, ranging from grants and fellowships to new, quote, anti-racist institutes. Hence why we played the Coca-Cola video. That's all of this podcast.
Yep.
Jared, click on this Twitter.
So
Shit.
I'll show you guys some.
What is this?
So here, guys, it's
Apparently, Coca-Cola has been having an online training course, right?
yeah.
And
So
it's basically forcing employees to tell them to try to be less white, basically.
yeah, which
Like, how does that help you make a Coca-Cola drink.
Shit, apparently all these people that create Coca-Cola drinks are racist.
Wait, is that why my pop is a little bit darker than normal?
Yeah. Trying to be less white.
They put less sugar in it.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, forgive me.
We don't like the white stuff. Oh! Shoot, man. Hey, there's at one point they did put Coke in
And Coke.
Coca-Cola. I mean, that's why it's called that. Hey, less white stuff, more
And then
less white stuff, more regular soda.
this was okay, Trump.
I don't know why I'm using Trump's voice for that.
Hold on, but they made it less fun.
Yeah. Make Coca-Cola good again.
Make it what?
Make Coca-Cola white again. Oh, no.
Make Coke white again.
Yeah. Get all these druggies back out here. Oh, man.
Oh, good Lord.
We cannot get through a podcast without this crap.
What crap? Do I going to put back in the day?
Yeah. The war on drugs
Has failed.
is failed.
They're putting in other drinks now.
Yeah. Okay, so this is from this is a tweet.
Seriously, though, back to
It says breaking. Coca-Cola
at the time.
Yeah, at the time. Coca-Cola is forcing employees to complete online training, telling them to, quote, try to be less white. These images are from the internal whistleblower. So
In your skin and your drink.
yeah. Oh my God, that's scary. So the first image here shows confronting racism, understanding what it means to be white, challenging what it means to be racist.
First of all, you're making pop.
You're all
You're
it's
making
like
pop. What does that have to do
this,
with
and
making
it
pop?
shows it's on Indeed Learning, part of their program. But you can see at the very top right, you have to look very closely, but it says Coca-Cola, like the logo.
Yeah.
And then the next one, it's to be less white is to be less oppressive, be less arrogant, be less certain.
Wait. Huh? Be less about what exactly?
I don't know. Be less defensive.
Oh, that's scary to say.
Be less ignorant.
Okay.
Be more humble. Listen. Believe. Break with apathy.
What does that even mean?
I don't. Break with white solidarity.
What the fudge?
Like, what does this have to do with making a
Delicious beverage.
a delicious beverage? I'll stick with
Pepsi.
or Mountain Dew, but the Pepsi company, yes,
Yeah.
because they make Mountain Dew and stuff. I do like
Pepsi and participates in
to be honest with you guys. I don't really like Coca-Cola. I'll be honest.
It's too sweet.
I like Mountain Dew. I like the flavor of that, and then Code Red. Oh my God, I love Code Red.
It's the bomb. Code Red is the bomb, dude.
Oh, it says with Robin DiAngelo, which is the author of that White Fragility thing that we were looking at earlier.
That's why.
Yeah. So in the U.S. and other Western nations, white people are socialized to feel that they are inherently superior because they are white. Research shows that by age 3 to 4, children understand that it is better to be white. Because you were telling them that.
Yes.
It's not that they know that. At 3 or 4, I most certainly did not know that. And while I was growing up, I had a lot of black friends growing up.
Oh, yeah.
Especially when I lived in the Bahamas. I mean, I was a minority there.
Yeah.
I was a minority.
Being was white as you
And
are,
guess what?
yes.
I didn't care about the color of their skin. I still saw them as my friends, and they saw me as their friend. And we're still friends to this day. We just, can't see each other, obviously, because I'm in Ohio. But, whenever we go back to the Bahamas, I'm able to get together with them.
Yeah.
I haven't been there in a long time, but because of COVID. But I'd like to go back.
Dude, you bring me with you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's the reason why these.
It's because you're telling them it.
Yeah,
You're implementing.
probably
into their
because
heads.
probably as soon as they pop out of the vajayjay, man, they're saying
JJ, man.
they're saying it's like, oh, there's my little racist.
Like,
There's mommy's little racist.
like,
Suck on my nipples.
Links.
Show me the links. Show us the link.
Show us the nipples. I'm sorry.
No.
I had to.
No. Oh my
That's gonna
god.
be a good one to zoom in on.
Show us the links. That's so good. Try to be less white is the less slide.
Oh.
How about try to be less of an asshole? How about that? Oh.
Try to rely less on the links.
Yeah. Good lord. So the next section.
Oh, we're gonna bash someone here. So Ibram X Kendi, right? He says that to preface this, right?
Yeah.
He says that black people don't really are struggling financially, right?
Yeah. Or they're put upon in the United States.
Yeah.
Or
Read this.
Ibram Kendi, this is the headline. Ibram Kendi likely made at least $300,000 for lectures
On
on
what?
how America is racist. Now, that's a very contradictory
Statement right there.
statement, yeah. So this is from thecollegefix.com, ironically. Boston University's professor and author Ibram Kendi has likely made hundreds of thousands of dollars in the past several years from a series of 1-hour lectures based on data obtained by the College Fix.
No more needs to be said, but we'll read it anyway. But
Yeah, Kendi, who wrote several books on anti-racism and has popularized the term, appears to have made over $300,000 in the past several years based on records obtained by the Fix through public records requests. This number is an underestimate and is based
It's an
on,
underestimate.
so it could be
Higher.
500,000 maybe, I don't know, and is based on pre-2021 data. Contracts obtained show Kendi's payments have increased in the past several years. Kendi is the founding director of the Boston University Center for Anti-Racist Research. Prior to his role at Boston University, Kendi founded the Anti-Racist Research and Policy Center at American University, where he served as its executive director. So the question is, what does this man actually do? Other than just talk about how America's racist and make a bunch of money off of it.
well, he writes books.
I mean, he writes books and makes money off of that too,
Yeah.
you know? But the ironic part is
This is the American dream, though.
you
The
can,
one that you constantly bash.
yeah, you're
You live the story, and yet you're bashing
living the
America.
dream.
Yeah.
And you don't admit it that you're living the dream.
You were a black kid at some point, and you made it,
Yeah.
and yet you're bashing our country for being racist?
Yeah. And you're saying that there's no way for black Americans to succeed in America now?
Look at you. Yeah.
I mean, it's the same way when LeBron James says that.
Oh,
I mean,
don't even
LeBron
get me started.
even worse. I mean, he's a multimillionaire and he comes out all the time and says how, you know, he's like, you know, stand with black lives and all that. And it's like, and black people can't make any money and stuff. And it's like, look at you. Look in the mirror. I mean, you're one of the best.
You went Sports Illustrated by the age of 18. Don't give us that crap.
You skipped the whole college experience.
Yeah. And went straight to the NBA.
Like that
Straight out
never
of
happens.
Straight out of St. Vincent St. Mary's High School. You went straight from the NBA.
Yeah.
That's how good you are.
I mean, my girlfriend went to that college.
Yeah.
I was college. They went to that high school.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Actually. Like, come on. Don't tell me that black people can't succeed in America. Come on now.
Yeah. They are pulling that.
You should be doing the exact opposite.
They're pulling that straight right out of their rectum.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's colorful.
you're welcome.
No pun intended.
You know, hey, we don't advise this to be a kids show at all.
That's why there's the nuclear silent at the start of the podcast.
Yeah, that's a pre-warning to all of the stuff we've
There's going to be some
discussed.
bombs dropped in this podcast.
Yeah. Just keep in mind we don't censor any of our words. So if there's any, this is not a kids program. So just keep that in mind.
It might be. We might be
There's a reason why
If you become a big company like Daily Wire, we might
might have
split
to
off
censor
into-
ourselves a little bit.
we might split off into kids content.
Yeah.
Become a big company.
Yeah.
That's years down the road, though.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, it's like they're
You're saying one thing, but then you literally live the dream.
yeah, and like this man probably. I mean, I know Shapiro talked about Kendi a lot in the past.
He hates him, from what I understand.
And also,
not him, but
he kind of, and Shapiro has asked this, like, what has this Ibram X. Kendi actually accomplished as a founding director of the anti-racist research? Like, what has he actually accomplished?
Nothing.
Other than it's just a,
I think it's fun for him to earn money.
yeah, it's just, it's a way to show, like, it's a, what do they like to call it?
It is like a smoke screen.
It's something like that. It's like a smoke screen. It kind of just shows like, hey, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing good.
Yeah.
When in actual reality, how is that supporting anyone? How is that helping anybody?
Yeah.
What a center for anti-racist research? Like, what do you got to research about?
Do something if you're really that into it.
Yeah.
Give to the families, like we keep coming back to.
And
the family unit.
the ironic part is that Kendi likes to say that, he's an anti-racist, but he's really racist with how he talks about white people.
I haven't heard his stuff on that, so maybe you can tell me because I haven't heard his.
I mean, I wish I had some examples queued up, but I don't. However, Kendi
Has been known to
be very racist against white people. I mean, he talks about how white people are racist all the time, and it's like, well, okay, well, you just yelling about that just tells what you think about white people. I mean, you don't have any trust in the individual.
Yeah.
You can't just all group us into one thing, like how we can't group all black people into voting for Biden.
Yeah.
Just because, like, oh,
Like
if
that
you
one
ain't black,
TikToker,
you
that
don't
one
vote for me
TikToker.
or something.
That one TikToker
Yeah.
that we follow, that we like so much.
Yeah. I mean, people are so surprised when they see a black American, a black conservative supporting Trump. It's like, hey, dude, you realize you're living in your own little bubble, your own little world.
Mm-hmm.
If you step outside that bubble for a little bit, you'll realize that there's a lot of black people that do support Trump.
Yeah. Probably because of the
You're
stuff
living in living in the CNN world. Like, get out of it, dude.
Get
It's not
your head
good.
out of your ass.
Yeah, get your head out of your rectum. So we're gonna kind of skim over these other sections here.
This one pisses me off.
Reimagining policy. So in
It's supposed to
response,
be the last part. Just read this real quick.
in response to campus protests, university administrators have taken steps to either disarm or defund their police departments, often replacing them with unarmed officers or mental health workers.
What kind of mental health workers is what I want to know. Seriously, I want to know.
But how is that going to help a physical fight? Like, you can't bring in a mental health worker to stop a fight or an armed shooting situation on campus.
Yeah. So there's mental issues there, but in the act, though, that's
Yeah, but you can't say, "Whoa, but can we
Calm
sit down
them
and
down.
can we sit down and talk about this?" No,
bam, he's shot. You're dead.
he has a flipping gun in his hand.
Yeah,
like, what do you think he's gonna do?
Yeah.
He's not gonna sit. Okay, let's talk about it. Then I might shoot you.
Yeah.
No, he's just gonna shoot you on the spot.
Yeah.
Then
Defunding the whole police thing is just stupid.
it is, and a lot of these Democrats are going back on what they were saying a year ago when they wanted to defund the police. Now they're saying, okay, now we need to fund the police because now we realize that was a mistake. Wow. Okay. Us
Something that we've
conservatives.
done all along. We were right once again.
We've been saying this since you began talking about it. We've been saying how that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
Next is providing anti-racist resources. Universities have compiled lists of resources, often making books like How to Be an Anti-Racist and White Fragility free for students, as well as live programming for anti-racist initiatives.
Free books, basically.
That section's just dumb.
Mm-hmm. And then this last 9th point, right?
Taking symbolic actions. Some institutions have not yet taken substantive action to mandate curricular changes or fund critical race theory research. However, they have started anti-racist, quote, action committees or renamed supposedly offensive buildings to placate the demands of students. It's all just virtue signaling, guys.
Stop them from tearing down statues.
Yeah. It's all just virtue signaling. Like,
What's you signaling?
yeah, just kind of saying like, oh, look what we're doing. Look at all the good we're doing. We changed the name of this building. It's like, oh, yay, we're doing so much. In reality, it's just a name.
There's a foreshadow.
Yeah. And the foreshadowing to the next section, Aiden, you found this one.
Yes, and Jared actually was surprised by this. That he didn't know about this. So Tennessee Democrats, right? Change the name of. There was a whole thing about this too, mind you. The KKK got involved in this. The some gangs got involved in it, I guess too. It was just like a whole thing. A day after politicians called for removal of the bust of Confederate Lieutenant General Nathan Bedford Forrest from the state capitol, some Democratic leaders say the state should also change the name of a state park named in Forrest's honor. Is there any more to that?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay. No, you're good. Quote, why would we celebrate anything that produced evil? End quote. Representative was state Republican.
State representative.
Yeah, Johnny Shaw, a Democrat from Boulevard, said, quote, it is a celebration of evil, he said. The name of the park, the statue, and the whole 9 yards. Forrest, who was born in Middle Tennessee, was the first Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan, although he later renounced his involvement with the organization.
And that's it for that. But yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. Do you agree with that or no?
Well, it all depends.
On your
it all depends on what this person represents. I believe.
Okay.
Because I'm not 100% into the fact of like, oh, let's leave every single statue up that was ever put into place.
Like Stalin, for example.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you have, a statue of Hitler or something, like, why would you want a statue of Hitler? Like, he's an evil, evil man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, what does he stand for? Well, he stood for a lot of evil things. But you don't remember him as being a good man. Right? And then also you got to look at people trying to tear down George Washington statues. Like, what does this man represent?
That Lincoln statue that was defaced.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember.
The Black Lives Matter thing.
Yeah, I mean, do you look at Abraham Lincoln or George Washington and think, wow, unless you're a leftist, of course, that they represent slavery? Well, obviously you don't know your history, sir, or they, them.
Yeah.
Obviously you don't understand history, because if you did know history and you read up on these people, you would realize that George Washington was founded our country.
Yeah.
And also you'd look at Abe Lincoln and realize this man freed slaves.
Is that what the whole Civil War was about? I mean, come on.
I mean, maybe back in the day he owned slaves at one point, or his family did. But you got to look at the fact, like, he was trying to free these slaves.
The sins of the father don't dictate what the son does. I mean, I know that's a weird analogy, but
yeah,
I know what I was going with that.
It don't,
the sins of our ancestors don't dictate us. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and you got to realize what this man was fighting for. Like, why is he memorialized?
Because he freed slaves and he started a whole war over it, basically. Yeah.
He changed America.
Yeah.
As we know it.
America killed itself in that time, but then it was rebuilt from the ashes.
It was reborn.
Yeah. It killed itself, though. It really did.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, it messed us up big time.
Yeah. Especially back then, yeah, with the fighting, yeah. Brother really did turn on brother. I mean, there was... And you had whole family members that were just...
and I don't know this, going back to this guy, this Forrest guy.
Well, he was a Southern general.
Right.
He was a Confederate general.
However...
he got... Well, the whole KKK thing he got out of, first of all.
Yeah. Now, I don't know
but
this...
he was still a part of him, though. That... I don't know.
But the
Do
question...
you leave it up, though? Is it... Because it is history.
But if you look at the framework I just laid out, like, how does... What do you memorialize about this man? Do you memorialize the fact that he was a Confederate KKK general? Or do you memorialize the fact that he changed?
Yeah.
And he became... He got out of it.
Yeah.
What do you look at?
Well, I mean, as a
when
general,
you see him?
he did lead men on some probably amazing battles, I would say.
Yeah.
He fought for what he believed in that time.
Like, if you're...
It was a different time back then. You got to realize.
Right.
Like we said before, it was economic back then. to be a slave owner. It was easier to have slaves than to pay white people to work for you.
Right.
Yeah, that's a whole complicated thing.
But I think, simply look at it as, how do you memorialize this man? What do you think of when you hear his name? If you think of him as an evil Confederate general, then maybe he shouldn't be up as a statue anymore. But if you think of him as a former KKK member that renounced his involvement with the organization and said, "Why did I even become part of that?"
Yeah.
Then, maybe he deserves to stay up.
Yeah.
But it all depends how you look at this man.
Perspective.
Yeah, it's all about perspective. And I believe that's how it should be when it comes to the debate on statues staying up.
Yeah.
I don't know how you are. Do you think that all statues should stay up, or are you kind of on that way, like what I'm thinking?
No. I agree with you with what I'm saying.
Okay, gotcha.
It's about perspective.
Yeah.
There were some statues that are just like, okay, it just should be torn down because that's not like the whole North Korea statue, like with Kim Jong-un. If it was in this country, we tear that down right away.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I think that's the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
But hopefully you guys enjoyed this podcast today.
It was a lot of info, yeah.
A lot of info.
Good
We were ready to we were excited to get going on this one.
Yes.
It's one that was coming down the pike for a while.
Yeah.
So I think
a lot of funny moments too.
A lot of funny moments. So hopefully I'll try putting them up on TikTok because that's too funny.
Yeah, we have a lot to go from here now.
Yeah.
Which is good.
And it's not like intentional either. Like this is all unscripted funny stuff that we
improv.
all improv. Yeah. So yeah, hopefully.
To wrap this up, what do you think?
I'm all against this critical race theory thing.
Yes.
It's horrible to be teaching students about it.
Yes.
Because it's all a theory.
It's right in the name.
Yeah. And it's all stuff.
As fact. It's treating it as
and
fact.
it's not like a well researched theory, I believe, because there's a lot of theories in school that are taught to students that don't involve race, but that are more well researched than this.
Evolution.
Yeah, that is.
I mean, that's something that comes to my mind, at least.
And that could be disputed still, but not as much as.
It's well thought out, though.
It's well thought out, and it cannot be as easily debunked as critical race theory is.
Right.
Like that is something really easy.
There was evidence for evolution, and I will say there actually is.
Yeah, it's hard to deny some of the,
especially
stuff.
the skulls that are found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you kind of wonder about certain things like that. It makes you think for a little bit.
Yeah.
But anyways, in terms of the critical race theory,
so fast.
Yeah.
It's basically telling kids to hate themselves because of their skin color.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Now, keep in mind, guys.
Am I going to send my kids to these schools? Probably not.
No. If your kids are learning about this crap in your public school system or private school,
I implore you to pull them out.
Pull them out. Do homeschooling if you have to. Or go to another school district.
Private
or
school.
Something. I don't know. You got to do your research and find out what schools are doing what.
Yes.
Or attend your local school board meeting.
Fight this.
You are allowed, you're permitted by law to show up to these.
Yeah.
You are allowed to sit in these meetings. You don't have to just sit idly by and let your kids be brainwashed, yeah. So hopefully this is something that encourages, if there's any parents watching this.
Listening to this, yes.
Yeah, please just, hopefully that encourages you to step out and speak out, because we got to change it. We got to fight the culture war. This is something that we've waited in hibernation way too long. We need to start fighting.
And fighting now.
It's almost gotten to the point where it's too late. But it's not. We can still fight this, guys. But
the book burnings haven't begun yet.
Yeah, we still got time, but we got to start now.
Yeah.
Don't wait until they get to the point where they're knocking on your door, yanking your kids out and taking them into vehicles into some camp. Let's not wait till that point.
Yeah.
We got to start doing it now. Start fighting the good fight now.
Yeah.
So that's all I got to say on that. And with that, I think we're out for tonight.
Yes.
So we'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
See ya.